Laura, you mentioned that he is prepping, and yes, he has been involved with crafting the speech and overseeing the edits to make sure that everything is in his own voice. But there is no formal speech prep. And officials in here are calling back to the Biden days where we know that they would either set up a podium here at the White House or at Camp David ahead of a big address, and they would have advisors standing around telling him how to say things and how to stand, how to prepare for possible interruptions, which we know he did last time when Marjorie Taylor Greene interrupted talking about Laken Riley. But there is no formal prep like that happening. And Caroline Levitt told me that she thinks President Trump could do this speech in his sleep, something that the comms team has, according to a post that just went out. At least 20 McDoubles. They've got a huge order of McDonald's inside. There it is. 20 McDoubles.
Oh, Trump is a legend, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he got McDonald's before the speech.
I will go and check after we are done chatting to see if that is all. But we can hear the motorcycles from the motor pool revving their engines as the roads around here close. Take the very, very quick trip to Capitol Hill. So you'll see him soon. Laura?
All right, Peter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Donald Trump will be speaking very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash the like button. Democrats are planning a huge walkout boycott. There's a lot of things that they're planning on doing. There's a lot of people right now. DC right now is on high alert because of protesters. Many Democrats are alleged of hiring fake protesters. I got to show you the ad that just came out right now. This is all happening. I got Fox on. Everything is on, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot going on. Tariffs. I got big news to share with you guys before Trump comes out. Make sure to smash the like button. Let me know where you guys are watching from. I told you guys we'd be live for this, so we are live right now to talk about this. Is a very huge day right now. I got huge news to share with you as Donald Trump, once again, we're waiting for him to come out. So if you want to come back later, if you want to stay here, it's up to you. This is the live, and this is the place to be. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen. The IRS is about to cut 90,000 employees from their workforce in half. And ladies and gentlemen, that's huge news about the IRS. Donald Trump has been speaking about getting rid of the federal tax, getting rid of property taxes down in Florida. Is Ron DeSantis. IRS right now in huge trouble. Donald Trump is making a lot of moves. Also, Donald Trump, speaking of maybe removing some of these tariffs that have scared a lot of people, and especially Canada and Mexico, because they are now about to start working hand in hand. Also, Zelensky has agreed to sign the minerals deal. So again, a lot of people are very scared. A lot of people think Trump is going too far. But now this might just be the art of the deal. And that's probably what he's going to talk about now. He's putting pressure on these countries. Again, another huge announcement that I got was that Donald Trump, and I made this post, very huge news about Donald J. Trump and Gaza. Something that I was not, hold on, wait a minute. There's stuff going on outside. All right, make sure you guys can hear me. Comment one down below if the audio is good. Ladies and gentlemen, comment one down below if the audio is good. All right, so we got the Arab Summit in Cairo rejects Palestinian displacement and unveils $53 billion plan to rebuild Gaza. So it looks like Donald Trump saying that he's going to take over Gaza has Arab countries coming together to rebuild Gaza. So that is huge news because, ladies and gentlemen, Arab nations are saying, wait, Trump, wait a minute. I understand you want us involved. We're involved. We're the ones that are going to rebuild Gaza. We're going to take out Hamas and rebuild it. So Donald Trump right now, again, I told you guys, it's going to get ugly before it gets beautiful. And thank you for the ones. Okay, that's good. The audio is good. Breaking news here. Somebody just watching says Zelensky already signed the mineral deal with the UK 217.25. They played no, they have not signed with the US. Trust me. That is new information that Donald Trump will be talking about tonight. So let's see here real quick. Again, guys, get settled in.
Market dropped about 1,200 points in 2 days. But Alyssa Slotkin, we know, is set to rebut Trump's address to Congress tonight. Certainly she will go to that point. They're going to try to go all in with on the economy. And her goal, apparently, is to level with the American people during her speech. That's always a brutal thing to have to respond to any sitting president. But she's going to level with the American people because they were so honest about Biden's condition.
Well, I don't think Democrats have much credibility right now on any topic, not to mention the economy.
Okay,
and President Trump can make the case tonight that his economic agenda hasn't even passed yet. We're still living in the Biden economic agenda, and that's why things don't feel like they're getting better. And he's going to be in front of Republicans and
guys, it's only been a month. It's only been a month and like 10 days, 11 days. How many days? Can somebody tell me how long Trump has been in office for, and why in the heck are we acting like things are going to change overnight? Again, here are critical Democrats. Right now, this is what the Democrat move is. Just letting you guys know, this is why I said Democrats are planning something tonight. You got to be on the lookout for what they're planning. I don't like Democrats right now. Democrats are very dangerous individuals. Alexander Vindman is calling for President Trump to resign. That's what they're doing. Take a listen.
This is a regime change in which Trump is asking a fellow ally to resign. So I'm going to go ahead and go out on the record right here. I'm going to call it. The Ukrainians and the Europeans can't work with Trump. I'm calling on Donald Trump to resign. And then we can find somebody reasonable for our allies to work with. There we go. That's it. It's out there now. Yeah.
I mean, if Lindsey Graham can call on Zelensky to resign, why can't Alex Vindman?
Are these guys Team America or what? They're asking the president to resign. These guys, you know what I figured out, and maybe I'm crazy for saying this, but if there was a war right now, do you think these people sound like they will fight against America and Americans? That's what they sound like. Somebody said, is this live? Somebody in the comments said, is this live? 90% female. Ladies, if you're a woman, please comment down below. If you're a trans woman, I'll give you a pass just for today. Okay, we got an alert.
Fox News alert. We are an hour away from the president's first joint address to Congress, and Trump's promising to tell it like it is. The theme tonight, the renewal of the American dream. 6 weeks into the job, 47's walking into Congress with the wind at his back. His approval ratings are at all-time highs, and most voters think Trump's already doing a better job than Biden. The goal of the night, tout the early success, and then lay out a vision for where we're going and what we need to do to get there. Politico says, without question, America has been changed.
You can expect President Trump to instead tout action, accomplishments. And there's been a lot of that, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe no president since FDR has attempted so much so quickly.
Trump's ambitious because the American people voted for a complete upheaval. And here we are. A record 81 executive orders, the safest border in 25 years. Hostages are coming home, a high-tech manufacturing boom, auto plants returning stateside, and investments pouring in. In just 6 weeks, the private sector has invested almost $2 trillion into this country. And DOGE saved taxpayers over $100 billion, $2 billion alone in dead DEI contracts. Yesterday, Musk cut an $18 million a month contract to operate a migrant shelter with no migrants inside of it. Federal workers are showing up to the office for the first time in 4 years. Bureaucrats haven't seen the inside of an office in so long, they're tripping over extension cords, forgetting Wi-Fi passwords, and getting stuck in conference rooms. But they'll get used to it like the rest of us. Instead of the government working for themselves, the government's being put back to work for you. But Democrats want to go back to doing things the old-fashioned way. 86-year-old Congresswoman Maxine Waters, no relation, tried to hand-deliver a letter to the Secretary of Housing, which was really just a weak attempt at a break-in.
So we'd like to deliver the letter to him?
I can retrieve this letter.
He wants the letter.
We'll deliver it on your behalf. We can make sure he gets a letter.
Okay, well, let me just understand very clearly. I know you can deliver. Are you saying that I won't be allowed to deliver?
He's unavailable right now.
Oh, he's not here?
No, he is.
Bro, how is this woman still in Congress? She's like 100 years old.
I told you, he's in a meeting right now.
Democrats have also been suing and singing in the streets, but nobody noticed. So now they're attacking Tesla dealerships.
Investigators haven't elaborated on what evidence they found here, but say they...
I'm telling you right now, I look at me in my face. They're attacking Tesla dealerships. I do not.
Investigators are collecting evidence and surveillance video.
Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta show my face here. I don't trust Democrats. This is a crazy ad. I don't trust Democrats right now. I really don't, man. This is crazy.
Rushed to the Point Shopping Center on Constitution Ave around 1 a.m. Monday. The fire burned for close to an hour.
Biden spent $7 billion to build 8 charging stations, and the Democrats just lit them all on fire. And the mainstream media is not even covering the liberal arsonists. This is the 3rd violent assault on Tesla dealerships, and it's being covered up. The U.S. Marshals are now being forced to cover Musk because that's crazy. A majority of the country wants Doge. 83% of voters support cutting spending. Political consultants say Doge is today what the wall was in 2016, and it's winning over the battlegrounds. The main reason Trump won the election was because he put the American people first. And tonight, the White House will be honoring some of these Americans.
The First Lady will be in attendance tonight, and the guest list that she put together and President Trump put together is phenomenal. There will be everyday American heroes in attendance. Stephanie Diller, whom you mentioned, who lost her husband in the line of duty at the hands of an illegal immigrant. You have Mark Fogel, who, of course, because of President Trump's Peace Through Strength efforts.
Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. They're burning Tesla dealerships and charging stations. And now they're trying to get Elon Musk, like he needs extra security because Democrats are going crazy right now. I'm telling you, man, I don't, it's hard to go outside nowadays without the strap. I'm not calling on any violence. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying like, it's very scary out there right now, man.
Can continue to do fine. But we have a focus on small business and the consumers. So we are going to rebalance the economy. We're going to bring manufacturing jobs home. We are going to continue the surge in small business confidence that was at a record level when President Trump came in. We're cutting red tape, we're cutting regulations, and we're going to get bank lending going again.
The last 6 weeks have brought radical change, but the White House isn't satisfied. President Biden left a gaping hole in our border for 4 years. And tonight, 47 is expected to ask Congress for more money to accelerate the deportations. The border's been sealed, but the removal force needs to be beefed up. The trade war is also officially underway. Trump's targeted our 3 biggest trading partners, Mexico, Canada, and China, with tariffs in order to achieve fairness. Tariffs have already helped stop human and drug trafficking and gotten some hostages home and persuaded companies to invest and build in America. But it's going to be a little bit of a rocky road in the beginning, but we expect to win in the end. Tonight also comes at a critical moment in the peace process. Zelensky's disastrous meeting with Trump is still fresh, and the mineral deal hangs in the balance. A majority of the country thinks the war should end. Ukraine, Europe, and Russia all agree. It's time to negotiate. Here's J.D. Vance on Hannity.
This cannot go on forever. There aren't enough Ukrainian lives, there isn't enough American money, and there isn't enough ammunition to fund this thing indefinitely. The only realistic pathway to bringing this thing to a settlement is President Trump's pathway. We encourage both President Zelensky and President Putin to follow that path.
The path to peace is never easy. Deals blow up and they get put back together all the time. So we expect a peace deal this year in Ukraine. It's in America's national interest to end the war. But Democrats would rather prolong an endless, unwinnable proxy.
Thank you so much for your donation, Christy.
Traitor for stopping it.
They're going to be running for re-election in a couple of years or next year. I wonder if they're really going to want to run with Vladimir Putin as their running mate, because right now that's how Donald Trump is setting things up.
World peace shouldn't be political.
Clowns.
Settled on a leader or even a message about anything. They're still stuck on anti-Trump, even though that message hasn't gotten them anywhere. Members of Congress say they may walk out of the chamber during the speech.
I mean, it will look different for every member, I think, this go around. We shouldn't be surprised if we see walkouts. We shouldn't be surprised if we see, the kind of coordinated effort in dressing a certain way to send a message. We shouldn't be surprised if we see people might even, verbally react to some of the lies that we know he is going to tell about the work that his administration is doing and the harm that is causing the American people.
Oh,
The ladies-
really? I've told you guys these Democrats, they're gonna do something tonight.
Should they do? Should they sit and listen? Should they get butt naked and dance around? What should happen? Or should they all wait till the end when freshman Senator Elise Slotnick gives the Democratic response? Anybody?
I think they should walk out en masse.
Naked or clothed?
Naked. Naked would be good.
Naked would be interesting.
I mean, they should walk out. I think we've passed the point of no return with him, and we need to really stand up to him big time.
Some Democrats are bringing props, noisemakers, signs, empty egg cartons, red cards, I guess like for soccer, and hand clappers, whatever those are. Loud, obnoxious stunts to get attention aren't what Americans want to see from the Democrats. They want to see cooperation or at least a better idea. Democrats haven't done either. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is begging them to stop. He says no props. Hakeem says don't create a spectacle that could be seized upon by the GOP. Well, we'll see who listens. The party has a 36% approval rating. That's a record low. They're out of touch, and their priorities are just out of whack, and they haven't even...
No, they're going to try. Hey, man, guys, get ready. They're going to try some stupid stuff, man. 36% approval rating. Are they going to be mature tonight and have, we've seen Marjorie Taylor Greene do some stuff, say some stuff about Laken Riley, like, yell at Biden, but it was just that. I would hope that it's just, a couple people saying, and hold on.
Prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true. That's what you just heard. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are not down, they're up.
That's what you just heard. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are up, not down.
That's what you've just heard. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency,
prices are up, not down.
And that's the truth.
I mean, telling voters you're a puppet won't put you back in power. Speak freely and think independently, then maybe you'll have a shot.
Oh, snap.
Trump has a mandate to change Washington.
Yo, they all said the same thing at the same time, bro. What?
He won the popular vote by 1.5%, one of the smallest ever, and he won the general election by less than 50%. So what kind of mandate is this really?
Well, it is a mandate, and I'm going to explain why. And I don't mind the question, but let me be very clear. I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the facts. And here's the facts. The man won every swing state. He increased in terms of his voter turnout in his favor from the standpoint of blacks, Latinos, and young voters. He increased his numbers in that regard from 2020. 89% of the counties shifted to the right. That's a mandate. I don't understand how people can look at that and say, there's no mandate. There's a mandate.
Donald Trump reignited a sense of American ambition that nothing's impossible without a little hard work and common sense. We're on the cusp of an artificial intelligence revolution and a new era of American expansionism. Independent media, Bitcoin, drone tech, and private space exploration are all new frontiers that America's barreling towards with a fresh sense of confidence. And the president, who dodged a bullet and prison, feels blessed by God to take this country to the future and beyond. And the fact that he's not running for re-election means that this isn't political. We're just trying to make history together. Valuetainment founder Patrick Bet-David is here now. Big night tonight. What do you expect from 47?
I think he's going to be on attack mode right off the bat. You got to realize this, Jesse. When you think about the first 43 days, 44 days of a president being in office, there has never been a leader that came in with a level of disruption at the speed, at the pace, where the opposition doesn't know what to do. They're sitting there saying, I don't even know what we're going to do next. If it isn't one thing, it's the next thing, then the next story, and the next story. Meeting with Zelensky, doing it the vlog style with the cameras wide open. We're getting a chance to see exactly how Zelensky is negotiating behind closed doors. And you've seen JD come up and fight against him, the comments being made, and then now comments he's talking about, he wants to have a crypto reserve. And then you're seeing what Doge is doing. Every day we're learning something new. This is going to be a very scary one. I would advise Hakeem Jeffries to not do what his former example of a leader did. I highly recommend him not doing something like this, because it's not going to be a good look with this guy, because he's going to want to negotiate with this guy. Don't do what Nancy did a few years ago.
Well, he's not going to do that, but he has no respect over his caucus. They say there's going to be props, there's going to be walkouts. What's that going to look like for Americans watching at home?
I hope they do that, Jesse. I sincerely hope they do that. Think about it this way. There is Stephen A. Smith, who's a sports guy for ESPN, is more being talked about right now, sounding like common sense, than any other candidate they have today. They're voting for preventing boys from competing in women's sports, and they voted 45 to 51. Are you kidding me? So even think about Democrats who are sitting there. They want to vote Democrats because their parents were for John F. Kennedy. Their parents were for, hey, we're going to go land on the moon before the decade. Their parents were all about what Kennedys were. They're sitting there saying, honey, what are we talking about right now? The Dems still want boys to compete in women's sports. I thought the Dems were for women. I thought the Dems were for no war. Why are we still wanting to fund Zelensky? What happened to the Democratic Party? I hope they do exactly what they're saying they're going to be doing to try to disrupt, to try to make it difficult, to try to agitate. I hope they do that because it shows so much weakness. I cannot wait for them to do it because they're so predictable.
Yeah, and the president's going to give them a little jazz as they walk out or do whatever they do. You said in the beginning that the president's going to be on attack mode, and you made some references to places where he can exploit women's sports, things like that. Do you expect kind of a sharp partisan attack to really press his advantage, or do you see him kind of rising above it the way historically presidents do in these bigger moments?
This is not like the previous presidents we've had. Okay, we've learned one thing about President Trump. He has been himself for 78 years. He trusts himself. He's going to ask his advisors for what they think. But the guy got here individually when even his own party gave up on him. So the man's instincts, his intuition, his trust in himself is very high. He has nothing to prove. He's going to get up there and present to the people he's speaking to and say, look, you are upset. A famous president a few years ago said elections have consequences. If we remember that, I hope he uses that line because the American people said they wanted him. 7 states, we're not talking 5, not 2, not 3, 7 states said, we want President Trump. Guess what? You can cry about it. You can bitch about it. You can say whatever you want. They wanted him as their president.
Things are happening really quickly, and you and I follow this for a living. It's what we do. We're all plugged in. We see it happening every day, and we build off of it. Most Americans can't even keep up with this pace. It's just so fast. You get whiplash. Does he need to come out tonight and just explain what he's done, how he's done it, why he's done it, and how it's going to deliver success?
Yeah, I don't think if it's what he needs to do, it's what he's going to do. One thing President Trump's very good at, he's very good at stating his victories and what they're doing and doing it over and over and over again.
He understands the power of affirmation. That's what he's the best at. That's probably true.
That's right. That's right. He's a promoter. You got to give him credit. It's very hard to have a TV show being a #1 hit for 15 years and you want to be in all these movies. He's going to make sure everybody in America watches where he says, while you were busy taking care of your wives, your kids, your husbands, your families, doing your jobs, paying your bills, I've been doing my job as a president, keeping on the promises that I gave you. We're getting there. We're stumbling on some of the stuff, but we're going to do our part. Future looks bright. He's going to give a message like that.
All right. Valuetainment. Good to see you, PBD. Always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Likewise. Thank you.
Any moment, Donald Trump departs the White House. A live report next.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we got so much going on. So much going on. Here's a video. That was amazing, actually. Make sure to smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Anytime right now, Donald Trump will be departing to go and make his way for joint Congress. Again, you hear there, Democrats are planning stunts. They're going to embarrass themselves tonight, and I can't wait. I would bet any money that Democrats don't do anything and they just mature and listen to the actual president speak and not walk out and keep it classy. How much do you guys believe that that's a possibility? I'm going to say that maybe 10%, 90%. And I'll be very surprised if they don't try these stunts. Again, here we go. We got a congresswoman saying the quiet part out loud. I'm going to play this for you guys. You guys let me know what you hear here that is very weird. Take a listen.
You don't care about this country, and that is unacceptable if you claim to be the president of the United States. So we are here. We are not going anywhere. We are going to continue to fight back, and we are going to continue to speak lies to his truth, to his stealing, and to his cheating. Thank you.
Hello? You're going to speak what? Wait a minute. I'm gonna play that back one more time because I know your ears are probably the same as mine.
We're going to continue to speak lies to his truth, to his stealing, and to his cheating. Thank you.
We're going to continue to speak lies to his truth. Ladies and gentlemen, Democrats are cooked. Like they might never win an election again. Here are Democrats outside of the Capitol earlier today. That sign says that Trump sucks at golf. Stop the coup. Deport Elon Musk. What? I thought they were against mass deportations. Wait, what?
Do your job. Impeach Trump. Impeach Trump. Down with treason.
I'll tell you one thing about these protests. You should be. I'm very proud at this. You don't see no Hispanics. You don't see any black people. Again, you may see one or two, but barely any. Yo, white people, what's happening with your brother and sister? What is happening? Yo, they're outside, bro. Yo, it's a joke, guys, but it's a funny one. But apparently, these are the paid protesters that Mike Johnson spoke about. And yeah, I would say, I don't know, because it's a lot of them, and then there's none of them, and then there's a lot of them, and they show up in very different times with all these signs, and I just don't know what to believe. I really don't know what to believe that these people are actually real, because what they're trying to do is basically say that the American people are against it. Again, here is Hakeem Jeffries feeling very upset about the fact that people are catching on. Take a listen. First of all, he's trying to be cool here with these glasses. Fake Obama.
Just got back to the Capitol. Another day, another lie from these people who are out of control. I'm told that Donald Trump, Mike Johnson, and the extreme MAGA Republicans are claiming that Democrats are sending paid protesters into their town hall meetings. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all? We don't need to send paid protesters into your town hall meetings. The American people are with us all across the country. People are rising up to push back against the assault on the economy, the assault on hardworking families, the assault on our democracy, and the.
It's been 44 days, bro. It sounds like these people knew Trump was going to win, and they just started rehearsing all of this. And now, 44 days later, they're just like putting this out there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, 44 days into office, and they are judging this guy as if he's been there for the last 4 years, when we know damn well that it was Biden, it was Kamala, and these Democrats were in charge. And it's so wild that these people seem like they're, and again, you saw the video being played there on Fox News, but you see it here. This video, they're all saying the same thing. They're trained to do this. This is what Democrats have become. They've become the puppets. Now, look, I'm not a big fan of the Republicans at many times, but one thing I will say is that I'm not here to fall in love with you. I'm here to vote for you if you're doing a good job, if I agree with your politics, and if I think you're the best thing for America, America's sovereignty, America's foreign policy, America's economy. I'm not here to fall in love with a party. I'm not here to grab onto a party. And that's what the mistake is. And that's why you're seeing Americans really, really like change their minds about them. All right, here we go. We're back.
By a former Biden comms official who wrote, pizza is the better play. And so we are at the point of the coverage now where if there are no excerpts, we might start individually counting McNuggets and fries, which we can do depending on how things go. But we do believe President Trump is going to be talking a lot tonight about tariffs, and he's going to try to squeeze some money from these congressmen and women in the building. He's going to try to squeeze some border money out of them. And he is going to have at least a few unannounced special guests. We don't know what exactly, at which point in the program that's going to be, but in addition to the people that they have told us about that you've seen on our air throughout the day, there will be some surprises. And I've also been told there were some wires crossing this afternoon about the possibility of the U.S.-Ukraine rare earth minerals deal coming back to life. And everybody that I asked here at the White House was telling me they didn't want to get ahead of the president. So there could be an announcement about really burying the hatchet after Friday's Trump-Zelensky blow-up in the Oval Office. Something else that is new and different, at least to my ears, President Trump did not do any formal prep for this speech. I called Caroline Leavitt earlier and asked her what she could tell us about the prep. She said there is no formal prep. And as you can see, some of the motorcades are staging that could be either Vance or Trump. No formal prep. We know from the past administration, the past couple of years, for days ahead of a big speech like this, they would set up a podium with the prompters and the presidential seal either here or at Camp David so that President Biden could be surrounded by advisors telling him how to say certain things, how to use his hands, how not to, how to be prepared for an interruption, which he was when Marjorie Taylor Greene brought up Laken Riley last year. Donald Trump does not want to hear from his advisors about any of that. So it will be in his voice. He was a big part of the crafting of the speech, but he has not been in there doing like a big prep session with people telling him what he did wrong. Jesse.
You know, Ducey, the last time they bragged about not prepping was the debate with Kamala, where he said they were eating the cats and eating the dogs. So hopefully
they're eating the
he's
McDonald's.
already prepped, and now they're eating the McDoubles. You kind of alluded to something. I want to see if I'm reading you right. Are you saying that there's a chance that Zelensky might be a special guest tonight and that they might announce the mineral deal with him as the surprise guest?
Yeah, I saw like a big 5-foot king cake. I assume he's going to come out of it. No, I have specifically asked if Zelensky is going to pop up, and I was told that is not something that the White House is tracking.
All right. It's not like Beyonce is going to perform during the DNC that Kamala pulled. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. All right, Ducey, enjoy the McNuggets. Count them as you pop them. Save me some barbecue sauce.
Thanks, Jesse.
Let's bring in Republican candidate for Ohio governor. Might as well just call him governor already. Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, the spirit of the country has changed significantly since the last administration. Vivek! The theme is the restoration of the American dream. What do you think he's going to hit tonight?
Well, talk about the contrast first, Jesse, from a year ago. I think that's what Donald Trump should and will hit. A year ago, when Biden addressed that same body, we had open borders, the largest influx of illegals into this country in American history, rampant inflation, and wars around the world from Ukraine to the Middle East that were still escalating at that time. Now look at where we are just a few weeks into this presidency. Sealed the border, rampant downturn in the number of illegal encounters at the southern border, great economy that's heading in the right direction, and those wars are de-escalating and on their way, hopefully, to resolution. So I think Donald Trump has made tremendous progress. He's a human being, not a magician. That means that we were left with the major mess coming out of that last Biden-Harris administration, whatever you want to call it. The reality is that's still going to take a bit of time to dig out of, and I think he should be frank with the American people who are going to be patient with him, who are behind him, who gave him that mandate for sweeping change.
Thank you.
And I love that theme centered on the American dream, Jesse, because it's not just about what we're cleaning up or what we're tearing down, but also what fills that void and what takes its place. The idea of economic empowerment and educational empowerment for Americans across the country. I think that's a great way to kick this next chapter off.
You know, these themes are very hard to run against if you're a Democrat. It's very hard to run against common sense, putting America first, restoring the American dream. Do you expect him to step on the Democrats' neck tonight? Or do you see him saying, come along with us, let's do this together?
Look, I think it's going to be a little bit of both, a little bit of holding the other side accountable. But at this point, we have control of both the presidency. We have both chambers of Congress. We have a conservative majority on the Supreme Court. The fact of the matter is it's now or never for saving the country. And I think it's with that attitude that Donald Trump and this new administration has moved beyond just the past of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. But the question is now, what are we running to? What are we chasing? What is our future? And I like the idea of restoring this idea of the American dream. Notice how we haven't even talked about that, verbalized the idea of the American dream over the last several years in our country. That's changing. What is the American dream? The idea that you can look your kids in the eye and tell them and mean it, that you get ahead in this country with your own hard work and commitment and dedication, that you're free to speak your mind at every step of the way without censorship. Things that we took for granted when you and I were growing up, Jesse, things that we couldn't take for granted in the last several years. So I do think that this marks a bit of a moment of a transition, tonight does, from holding the prior administration accountable to say, we're turning the page on that. We're done with that chapter. Now we're moving on to our vision of what we actually stand for, not just as Republicans, but as Americans. And I will tell you, I was with Donald Trump over the weekend. I'm really proud of his sense of self-confidence and leadership style. He's at a level that even exceeds that first presidency of his. It's the second time in history that you have a president who took a break for 4 years, had a chance to reflect, then come back to take the country to the next level. This is historic tonight. It's only the second time in history that you have a president coming back to be able to address a body like this after 4 years away. And I think he's ready for that task and then some.
And we're looking live here at some of the video of the White House as the president is about to get in the motorcade and head over to the Capitol. You said you've never seen the president so confident. Many people see the president as the most confident person they've ever seen in their entire lives. You're saying he has even more confidence.
I think it's a justified confidence, Jesse, because the reason for that is look at the turnaround he's been able to implement in a few short weeks, accomplishing more positive things for the country than I think President Biden did in literally 4 years in office. And so I think President Trump has exceeded those expectations. But as time passes, we're going to be talking less about Biden and more about what we're actually accomplishing. And one of the things I love about President Trump is he loves to keep people on their toes. He's going to, I would expect, have a few surprises woven in tonight, just like we're going to have positive surprises over the next couple of years. And I do think that that's what people love about him. He's spontaneous. He's authentic. That's what we voted for. We didn't vote for incremental change.
You guys saw Elon?
Sweeping structural change. That's what he's delivering. And I think it's going to take.
Guys, the Democrats are going to lose their minds when they see Elon Musk, man. Oh, man, we're in for one tonight. I am so excited.
That's where he's going to lead us.
All right, Vivek, thank you so much. We're just looking live at the beast right there. The president's motorcade, keeping the car idling, ready to go over to deliver this speech. Thanks so much, Vivek. There he is. We have the president of the United States with the First Lady, Melania Trump, walking into the presidential limousine. They call it the beast. It's indestructible. And making himself comfortable after a few Big Macs or quarter pounders with cheese, probably a large fry and a Diet Coke. And got about a 10-minute ride over to the Capitol where he'll be delivering this speech to Congress. Let's bring in Kid Rock, who we spoke to during around the inauguration, I believe. And what's that been, about 43 days? Lots happened since then, Kid.
Yeah, where do you want to start?
I mean, I don't even know where to start. Where do you start? I don't even know if I could give this speech in 3 hours. There's been so much to talk about.
It's been unbelievable to sit back and watch. Just to, go figure, to have a politician, not a politician, somebody who comes into this from complete opposite of a politician from a business standpoint, makes a list, tells people what he's going to do, and wow, he goes out and starts doing them, just checking the list off one by one, just basically kicking ass and taking names.
So they've really got the Democrats struggling, and we're hearing there's going to be some stunts tonight. You know a thing or two about stunts, grabbing attention, maybe causing a ruckus. Anything you're thinking of that they could possibly do? Any advice for them?
Maybe just shut up, sit there and learn something. I mean, how'd that work when Nancy, did her little tore up her little thing. What, Ilhan Omar is going to walk out? I mean, come on, just, collect your things from your office, put a basket on your head and walk back to where you came from. That's what I would say.
You told me the last time you actually played at President Obama's inauguration. So you're someone who respects the office. Isn't this just about respecting the office these nights?
It should be. It should absolutely be. I mean, they're obviously still butt sore because their message was so horrible, just so terrible for the last 4 years with everything that's going on with this. I mean, woke mind virus, start there and just move down the list. And finally, it's the old talking point, but it's common sense, just to hear common sense coming from a group of people who are in there. I've never been more excited about the group of people that are surrounding the president that he's put into office. I've been fortunate enough to know a lot of them personally, and just to, just being at the Daytona 500, it was like, just sitting there with some mutual friends was like, it feels like America. We're celebrating America, all the things that are great about our country. And it really does. It's America's back, baby.
No, we are so back. There's no doubt about that. You mentioned, running around with some of these people surrounding the president. Have you seen Musk, the Dojinator, recently? He's been a little busy.
I saw him Sunday. I was golfing with the president, and Elon showed up the last. Yeah, I saw him. He showed up the last few holes with his mother May, who couldn't be sweeter, and man, we had so much fun. He showed me this. He showed me this new thing he's got called Grok, and it's like this app that you go, and it's got this mode called Unhinged, and this guy's got balls to put this thing out. It is beyond fun and funny. If you don't mind a few curse words here and there, and something going hard in the paint is an AI thing, it is bananas.
Unhinged mode. I got to get into that. All right. I'll see what I can find there after the show. That sounds like a great round you had. Maybe I'll hear more about that afterwards. I know I'm not allowed to go to your parties. I was banned from the inaugural party at your hotel room, but maybe you could fill me in later. Thank you so much, kid.
God bless.
All right. Ruthless podcast co-hosts Josh Holmes and John Ashbrook join us. Now, you guys are dressed a little differently than Kid Rock. Where's your hat?
Oh, we got to class this thing up. First of all, we're following Kid Rock, and then look at this place. Nothing but the best for the Fox.
I just saw a tweet right now. I want to read this. Eric Doherty says, if Democrats start throwing things at Donald Trump in Congress tonight, they'd be making one severe miscalculation. He already dodged the bullet. You're not phasing him. You guys, I don't think they'll go that far to start throwing things. That's a felony. I'm telling you, I don't know what these people are capable of, man. They're wild.
I mean, the one takeaway that when you're in the venue that is hard to completely encapsulate on TV, just how small everything is. If you're going to get stunts out of Democrats and everything else, it's very personal, right? And so this has a capability. If Democrats say what they're going to do or they're actually going to do, it could really backfire on them.
Like you could smell Bernie Sanders' breath.
Yeah.
That's how close you are.
That's what I'm talking.
And you know it's going to be terrible. Donald Trump is going to be so bold tonight. And what I'm really watching for is what you're talking about, how Democrats react. Some people are saying they're going to have noisemakers. Some people are saying they're going to walk out of the chamber. I don't know why they're walking in if they're just going to walk out. But Americans know that they've been walking out on them for a generation, and they were not going to be surprised if they walk out tonight.
Yeah, now Hakeem is begging him not to walk out. He says no props, no noisemakers, nothing. If they do that, does Hakeem lose all his street cred?
I mean, I think the problem is that his colleagues seem to have a humiliation fetish over the last 6 weeks. I mean, literally everything you wouldn't want them to do, they've done in spades. So, yeah, he tells them not to walk out. I have no doubt they're going to do something, or somebody's going to, because they can't help themselves.
Right.
Now, the audience watching at home, I mean, they can't keep track of what's been going on. We keep track of it for them, but even we have a hard time. I have like 13 producers.
Right.
Every day is like another slew of achievements. Would you tell it like a story? You know, this is how we started. This is where we are. This is where we're going. Or you just want to just rattle off a list?
I think it's a good way to do it. I mean, and I think the president will have plenty of stories tonight. He's obviously got a handful of special guests with very important stories of their own that they weren't able to tell during the last administration, and he is going to put.
And we have Vance walking in right now with I think Senate Majority Leader Thune, Barrasso, some of the senators here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great night. You know that President Trump is going to put on a show. Nobody's better at entertaining the American people, and he's going to do it tonight.
Yeah, we see the senators walking in. We got Johnson, we got Scott out of Florida. I mean, a lot of these guys look very similar. The fact that I'm noticing who they are is pretty amazing.
Big DC guy now.
Big DC guy now. I'm pretending at least. So the tax deal, that looks like it's moving. So a lot of people are saying, you know, Trump, you got to focus on the economy here. The Democrats are saying, well, you know, what about the prices? We're looking at a tax and regulation cut that's coming, within a couple weeks.
Well, they're certainly going to start.
And there we have Liz Warren coming in.
I expect that to play a big role in tonight's speech. I think he's got to focus on the economy. The tax piece, of course, a signature achievement from his first 4 years. They're going to want to get that done. They're going to want to communicate to the rest of the world that the American economy is back in a really big way. I expect that to lead the way.
Do you expect any sort of bipartisanship? I mean, some of these Democrats look like they're enjoying themselves. Maybe they had a glass of cab before they got there. Who knows?
Well, you'd certainly like to see it. But these Democrats have voted against this president time and time again. On the border, for example, that's a big thing that he's going to be talking about tonight because he has accomplished a hell of a lot in his first month. I mean, border crossings are down 95%. The arrests are up 600%.
And if you tout that, how are Democrats not going to applause?
Well, that's the problem that they have, right? In 6 weeks, they voted against deporting absolute criminals from this country. And then last week they voted to have men and women's sports. I mean, it's time and time again. You'd like to see the bipartisanship, but if the voting record is any indication, I don't know.
And there you have the president arriving at the Capitol in quite a significant motorcade. Looks like he and Melania enjoyed the quick ride over there. They clear track.
All right, guys, we're getting ready. Donald Trump is about to be speaking very soon. I'm very excited about this. Democrats, again, planning some stunts that we got to be on the lookout for. DC on high alert as you see a huge motorcade there. If you guys can smash the like button right now, that'd be amazing. Share this live stream right now. We got JD Vance walking in, people clapping right now. We're at the Capitol. So again, getting the show started. Smash the like button, share this video with as many people as you can. Subscribe if you can. And here we go. Here we go.
Everybody wants their photos taken.
That's right.
When this happens, they lean in. Sometimes they fall over. That's Marjorie Taylor Greene right there.
And sometimes you get House members who show up in the chamber like at lunchtime so that they can stand next to the aisle and hope to shake hands with
They've
President.
been camping out.
A lot of autograph signing in the aisle.
Right.
They don't have anything else to do for the American people. All right. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks so much.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring in former NASCAR driver and host of the Pretty Intense podcast, Danica Patrick. It's a pretty intense podcast. Danica, great to see you. How are you?
Good to see you, Jesse. I'm watching the Beast come in, and I'm wondering if I'll ever get a chance to drive the Beast.
The Beast was at the track the other day. I don't think it went very fast. It's more of a show horse. Maybe anything's possible. With this presidency, you might be able to take it for a few laps in a couple of years.
Well, a long time ago, I did drive the Madden bus to start off the NFL season around Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So I think the Beast would be quite an upgrade, even though still heavy. Not an actual bus. So that would be pretty fun. And even better if he was in the car.
Obviously, I'm sure he'd talk your ear off. Do you know what this is like? You are new at this. You just kind of became politically awake recently. You kind of got involved in this campaign. How does this feel for you?
I mean, it's like now every day I watch the news.
Again, you see JD Vance coming in. I want to see some of the people he's shaking hands with. I want to see what the Democrats' reaction here to JD Vance is. As you can see him coming in, got it round of applause, smiles. Just want to see what the energy of the Democrats is going to be. Vice President is coming in. This is beautiful. We're going to have a huge entrance for Trump. Again, get ready, guys. Get your beer. Look at that. That's a beautiful scene. Y'all, listen, man. I was wrong about JD Vance. Told you guys before. Stu is the man.
Exciting. And I kind of like DC. I've been to DC a few times, and I don't know if you like it, but I get good vibes in DC.
I like to visit, and then I like to leave, like most places. I like to leave right afterwards. Great to talk to you, Danica, and it's exciting that you got involved in this process. And
thank you so much for your $20 donation. Anybody sending donations, I truly, truly appreciate it. As you can see right there, Byron Donalds, future governor of Florida, has been endorsed. Tim Scott is there as well.
Showing Aaron Elmore, so the attorney and Trump 24 political appointee. All right, so this is where the action happens, Guy. Everybody gets down into the aisle and starts shaking hands and getting selfies. And then the big night, what is this? About 30 minutes away. What do you want to see?
So I think at a lot of these things, it's about the agenda moving forward, this laundry list of things that a president might want to do, proposals, et cetera. I think we'll get plenty of that. He'll go, I bet, more than an hour. But I think what we're going to mostly see and what his team's going to lean into, this is just a guess on my part, is a recap of the last 6 weeks. I mean, shock and awe every single day. And I think he's got this opportunity to talk directly to tens of millions of people saying, hey, we hit the ground running. Here's what we've done already. I think there's going to be some bragging and some deserved bragging, frankly, on a lot of it before they move on to what comes next.
Because, Aaron, when you hear about the accomplishments, especially in the wake of an administration that didn't do a whole lot, it is kind of inspiring if you're not a politically attuned person to hear, wow, this is a government that does stuff.
Cutting the red tape. And by the way, the victory lap that President Trump is going to take around Washington is going to be so fast you won't even have time to say drain the swamp. And I think these accomplishments really do speak for themselves. The American people said we want change, and that change is Donald Trump. We see DEI out of our federal government, men out of women's locker room. We're restoring America to greatness both domestically and abroad in terms of our perception. Now, we don't have a president anymore that has handlers that have to walk him to his mark and gives a meaningless, lifeless speech on a teleprompter. We have someone that takes charge, can speak literally for hours on end at a time. The American people don't get a politician. They get someone that's talking directly to them and is achieving their objectives.
And then we have Elon Musk, a special guest as the Doge administrator there tonight. And I don't think he has a son on his shoulders this evening, although that would be pretty fun. We just saw J.D. Vance, who's made quite a name for himself, especially after the last Oval Office meeting and the Munich speech there with Johnson, who was able to get that MAGA bill across the finish line.
At least so far, right? That was a big step.
There is Tom Homan, who the Democrats really don't like. Anybody want to take a guess here as to who Donald Trump is going to be bringing up as his surprise guest? Please let me know down in the comments. Again, you see a bunch of people. I'm happy to see Elon there shaking hands with people after all these Democrats melting down about him. We'll see.
Staff come in. We may even see some of the justices in robes follow that. There's Nancy Mace with Senator Ted Cruz. I'm sure they're just talking about football and, you know, what they did on Saturday night. There's Ben Shapiro, looks like a special guest of Speaker Johnson, I believe. These guests that the president, Aaron, is bringing in, what kind of story do you expect him to tell with some of these people?
Well, we know that President Trump hates the mainstream fake news media. And some of these journalists who have stood up for him time and time again are the new era. We're ushering in a new time in America where people who are sort of street journalists that have done blogs, done podcasts are in the building tonight. And I think that speaks volume. Donald Trump is the president of the people. He's a populist. And people like Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh there, they've had great movies. They started with the Daily Wire. They are really out there in this sort of that new generation, new era of journalism.
I also saw Riley Gaines, I think, sitting with them. And I would not be surprised to see the president lean into the protecting women's sports issue, because Senate Democrats just last night voted unanimously against a bill to protect women's sports.
Yo, Democrats are so cooked, bro. They're so cooked. They are so cooked, man.
Ukraine flag, wearing pink. She's not going to rip anything up tonight. Will she applaud when the president talks about getting men out of women's locker rooms?
No.
She won't. No. And what does that tell the audience, that you're going to have a woman that powerful not stand with women?
There was an analysis done on another network by some polling gurus. They said that the executive order on that issue that Trump signed a few weeks ago may have been the single most popular thing he has ever done in terms of public opinion. And the Democrats seem to be lining up lock, stock, and barrel on the other side of it, which is certainly a choice.
That's one of those things that you can see as a viewer, Aaron. If you're going to have the president talking about let's just say banning paper straws or getting boys out of girls' sports or closing the border. These are common sense, popular ideas. If the Democrats don't show a little gumption, stand up, maybe just a golf clap. How about a golf clap, Aaron?
I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to be defiant, like an insolent toddler. I think we might see some of the Nancy clapping, right, in some sort of outburst, because they're having a very hard time sort of coming to Jesus about what has happened. This was a mandate in Washington and beyond.
Jasmine Crockett. Oh, no. She's going to probably lead the league in these meltdowns. She's probably going to melt down the most.
Should say we are back and better than ever. I got all of my cabinet secretaries through. It is completely stacked. We've got Pete Hegseth, Pam Bondi, RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard. We're really winning on every front in Washington, and it's about time.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Aaron. Guy Benson, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Let's go to senior national correspondent Aisha Hasni. Aisha, what do we have cooking down there?
Hey, Jesse, it's a pretty cool scene here. I wish you could be here. We just saw a bunch of senators go in, of course, led by Vice President J.D. Vance. I believe that we're just now waiting for the Supreme Court justices to walk through Stat Hall here on their way into the chamber. So we're waiting for them. And then this is really going to get going here because the president, I believe, is now here at the Capitol. And as we watch these people walk in, really all eyes tonight are going to be on the Democrats and what they're going to be up to during the speech. Of course, in years past, Jesse, you'll remember we've seen, then Speaker Nancy Pelosi tear up President Trump's speech right behind him. We've seen plenty of Democrats boo him in the middle of his speech. So we're waiting to see what they do. We have heard a number of plans and things that they've talked about. Some of them might be wearing the Ukrainian colors, the Ukrainian flag, might be waving that because they want to show their support for Ukraine and aid for Ukraine. We've also heard people that might walk out right in the middle of this speech, and people who might say something, might shout something if they feel like, the president has said something that they have an emotional reaction to. A lot of different people are also going to boycott this. Like AOC has said that she's not going to be here in the room. She's going to be live tweeting about this instead. So we're waiting to see how they respond and react, and something that they've already done earlier.
Nobody cares about AOC, bro. Nobody cares about AOC.
These videos they put out on social media, about 20 different Senate Democrats got together and basically read the same script, used some expletives, and trashed the president's campaign promises ahead of tonight's speech. So that is what we're looking to see how disruptive the left is going to be, or if they're going to be strategic about this, because look, this is the president who won this election fair and square by a large majority of Americans. And so would it serve them to actually be disruptful? I'm not sure that their leadership would agree with that. Jesse?
All right, Aisha, thanks. I'm just so excited to see what props they have in store. It's like Carrot Top. I don't know what to expect. I'm on the edge of my seat. Let's go to outnumbered co-host and former White House press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany is here. Kayleigh, I heard you got a sneak peek at some of the excerpts.
Yeah, I was just taking a look at them, and Jesse, this is not going to disappoint. I am incredibly impressed with what I had seen. I was a little nervous because Stephen Miller has a new role, and he's the best speechwriter I think we've seen in this country in quite some time. But these are incredible, what you're about to hear. And particularly, my concern today was I really hope he hits the economy. As some have said, the media focuses on DOGE, the media focuses on Ukraine. That's all great and well and good. But this president can own the economy. This president has seen a 10-point swing in the direction the economy is going. This president has seen the best numbers on the economy since before Joe Biden, aka when Trump was president. And I think he's going to give the American people a history lesson. We had the worst inflation in the last half century under President Joe Biden. He's working to flip that, and he's going to get into those remarks and tease the golden age of America. These are uplifting. They're not caustic. They're not fighting words from what I've seen as we see Mike Johnson gaveling in. This is a president.
Here we go.
More than 400 executive actions.
All right, and there's Speaker House Johnson right now gaveling us in. I believe we're going to have some of the Joint Chiefs come in. Let's listen.
Minnesota, Mr. Emmer. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. McClain. The gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. Hudson. The gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Reschenthaler. The gentleman from Utah, Mr. Moore. The gentlewoman from Indiana, Mrs. Houchin. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Hearn. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries. The gentlewoman from Massachusetts, Ms. Clark. The gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar. The gentleman from California.
All right, so Kaylee, it's smart to really contrast where you've come from.
All right, guys, I'm going to switch over to RSBN. Or maybe not. All right, so some of the introductions have been made. They're still doing some more stuff, so we're going to stick with Fox because they have good coverage right now. So let's stick with them right now.
For years, and the polling shows that the Harvard-Harris poll. It's worth reflecting, Jesse, too, on the moment for President Trump here. You know, President Trump, the last time he stood at that dais you are looking at, he was standing there on the brink of COVID-19 in 2020. A pandemic was about to ravage the nation. He had just been through the impeachment over a perfect phone call. And then he had no clue that down the road there would be these trials that the Democrats put on. And here he will stand tonight as a president reelected, a president with a majority approval rating, according to CBS and Harvard-Harris. So I think you're going to see a victory lap from what I've read, but a contrast with the 4 years of darkness the American people have been through as we enter what President Trump calls the golden age.
And you have any idea who this surprise special guest is? Because it feels like everybody in Washington knows who it is, and they're just teasing me.
I don't know. You know, we remember he brought Rush Limbaugh. That was quite a moment. We'll see who he brings tonight. I don't know. Maybe
got some things happening. Get ready. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. Let's make sure. Democrats sitting down. This is stupid. Why are you sitting down? Supreme Court justices are in the building. That means that Donald Trump is next. That means that Trump is next. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys are excited as me, but I'm very, very, very excited about this. I am very, very excited about this. And again, ladies and gentlemen, Democrats are all sitting down. Some of them are standing up. We got people in the rafters. We got speakers. We got surprises happening. This thing is it's about to get crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get crazy. It is about to, I'm excited too. I'm very excited about what Trump is going to say. I'm very excited about everything that's going on. I really hope that he speaks about the 44 days, because again, we're racing to 100 days. We're not even 100 days in. All right, so he just got a note. JD Vance just got a note. There's JD Vance and, of course, Speaker Mike Johnson as we await President Trump coming in. As we await, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know where you guys are watching from. As we can see, the justices right there. I didn't see Justice Thomas, Clarence Thomas. I didn't see him. Very interesting. Looking forward to seeing a lot of people here. Special guest Abraham Lincoln is coming out. Oh boy. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. Get very excited. It's about to go down, because this is going to be one of those moments where I'm going to be honest with you guys, as we await President Trump. This is going to be one of those moments that you just know something big is going to happen, and you have to be there for it. You have to be excited for it. You just know that something big is happening in the United States of America. There's a big shift happening. I'm hoping it's a good thing. I'm hoping it's a great thing. We got protesters. We got people acting wild. That's one thing I'm not excited about, is Democrats acting crazy, burning down Tesla charging stations, protesting hard, doing some wild stuff. Like, I'm gonna be honest, if there's, I'm never really scared. Oh, so what's this right here? Whoa, what is that? What's happening here? Democrats wearing pink. Oh no. What is that about? Oh, somebody said that they were wearing pink, but honestly speaking, I didn't see it. Now I just saw it. What is that about? What are they protesting? I saw the transgender Congress person. Don't want to disrespect anybody. No, I don't think it's breast cancer, but I did see the trans congressperson wear it. So I'm guessing that has something to do with trans people. Maybe, I'm not sure. Okay, cool. So it might be okay. So they're wearing pink for breast awareness. Is it for trans? I have no idea. I really don't. This is some type of protest they're wearing pink for? I honestly don't know. I'm learning from you guys. Somebody said the special guest is Putin. Yo, special guest Putin will be crazy. Somebody said probably abortion. Oh, but I mean, you like anytime I think about pink, I think about breast cancer awareness. That's the only thing I think about when I think about pink. I think about cancer awareness for women. I don't think about any other issues, so I don't know what they're doing. Beautiful scenery here. Beautiful scenery here, ladies and gentlemen. So again, they're wearing pink right there. You saw Ben Shapiro, you saw Matt Walsh, you saw a few people. I know Benny Johnson is there. A lot of people are there. Thank you for going live. I love your commentary. I appreciate you, Reed. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I think that was Ted Lieu. So those are the Democrats right here. There's Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's feisty today. Again, we saw her interrupt Joe Biden's speech by screaming out Laken Riley. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if Democrats scream stuff out, but that won't bother me. But I would say that I just think that Democrats are just going to be very weird. And maybe they're not even going to show up. Maybe they're going to walk out. We're going to see exactly what they do. But I won't be surprised really by anything they do. Only thing I'll be surprised about is if they actually don't do anything and they're just there. There's Nancy Pelosi. Number one stock trader in the world, worth over $200 million. She knows how every stock is going to do. I think she should be investigated 1,000%. I definitely think she should be investigated, guys. So again, we're waiting for President Trump to come out. We have somebody wearing blue. There's Melania. Okay, here we go, guys. Here we go. There's the beautiful Melania Trump. I wonder how Democrats are going to try to treat her. I'll be very interested. There she is. Start the clapping. Elon Musk right there. Clap. Elon Musk doesn't even know what's going on. Now he sees her. Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make a full screen here.
Mr. Speaker, the President's Cabinet.
That's true.
Secretary, can't wait to connect with you. You have so much
Yeah, Democrats hate to see this happening right now. They hate to see this coming. Thank you so much, Jim. Happy day, mate. Welcome, welcome, guys. Share this live stream with your friends and family. I know you could be anywhere right now. I know everybody's live streaming, but the fact that 4,000 of you guys are here with me right now, I want to say thank you for that. There's Pete Hegseth. There's Pete Hegseth, Defense Secretary of the United States of America, former military man, a lot of experience. He's very beloved, very hated by the Democrats. I think at this point, if you're hated by the Democrats, you're doing a hell of a job. That's one thing I'll say. There's the rest of his cabinet right now. Again, Trump should be next. Coming out, we're waiting for his arrival. Waiting for his arrival, ladies and gentlemen. So very, very excited about this, guys. Not sure about you, but I definitely am. There's Robert F. Kennedy as well. Somebody said this is like a high school prep rally. Yeah, these things definitely give high school vibes, don't they? A lot of people love politics, but it does. Clay, thank you, Clay. Appreciate your donation, man. I appreciate that. Biden is definitely sleeping right now. Definitely not watching this. He'll watch it in the morning. Make America Healthy Again is in the building. The Dems, yeah. There's Melania. I think Melania is speaking tonight. Those are two victims of AI deep fake. Because I know she did something with them yesterday, so I think she's going to be talking about that today. She's going to be giving out a great message. Actually, there is Usha. I think that's her name, if I'm not mistaken. That is JD Vance's wife, and she's there as well. So, yeah, people are here. Let's see if the Democrats behave themselves, man. I'm rooting for the Democrats to behave themselves. Maybe prove us wrong. Maybe prove us wrong. MAGA girls are smarter. Listen, there was a guy in here that was asking if there are more girls than guys in this live stream. I'm starting to think so. I'm starting to really think so. Someone said the special guest is going to be the Prime Minister of the UK. Interesting. I don't think so. Thank you so much, Tiffany Michael. Appreciate you. Somebody said do a poll. That's actually very exciting. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a poll here. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to do a poll of who's watching. Are you a man or are you a woman? I'm very, very excited about this because this is a question now I am intrigued by. So we're going to do a poll here. Excuse me. Let's make sure we put the full screen here so that way we know exactly what's going on live. And as we do that live, are you I'm going to put woman first. Woman. I'm going to put man. I'm going to put trans. All right, here we go. See what we got watching. Okay, here we go. This should be a fun poll, man. This should be a fun poll. All right, let's see. The poll is up. See the results here. Let's watch it live. We have 1% trans. We got trans people here. Okay, welcome. It's a free space, safe space to identify as you want. Debbie, thank you so much for your $10 donations. 58. So there's more women in the chat. Wow. Obviously, it's a joke, but we got 3% trans. Holy moly. All right, so I'll keep it up there. I'll keep it up there for the live stream. Very interesting. Somebody said transatlantic. Oh, man. What a night. What a night. It's a very funny live stream, I got to say, man. I like it. All right, so let's look at some of the results. We have 57% women, 41% men. Wow. That is, wow. Women, wow. This is amazing. I'm so impressed by a huge female audience. Wow. This is amazing. You guys are representing. We got almost 1,000 voters. If you don't know where the poll is, it's in the chat. You'll be able to vote here on the chat. Somebody said that ain't right. Well, we'll wait. We'll wait a little bit, and then I'll end the poll in about 5 minutes, or maybe keep it up throughout the live. So we'll see. Very interesting, though. I didn't notice that until now. So shout out to the person that brought that up. All right, there you see Christy, Christy Noam waving there. Byron Donalds shaking hands. Waiting on President Trump to come out. It's currently 9:11. Deborah says some of us can actually make a sandwich. Oh boy. Yeah. The women are saying they can make a good sandwich. Hey man. 56 to 42% right now. Somebody said, wait, I changed my gender. Can I change my vote? Yo, this live stream is crazy. Holy moly. Y'all on fire tonight. I rock with it. They want to change their vote, yo. The best sandwiches. Yo, y'all crazy. Trad wives in the building. Yeah, this is dope. All right, so let's turn back to the stream here as we await President Trump. Bring the volume down a little bit here. We got 4,400 people in here. Appreciate everybody. Wendy says sandwich. Here's one thing I'll say about it. From the looks of the profiles of these women that are in this chat, there's a lot of beautiful women in the chat. So we ain't, because sometimes you might have a majority, women audience, but they might look like The View. Like they might look like The View's audience, or they might look like The View. I see there's a lot of beautiful women in here. You could be ugly, but you decided to be pretty, so I appreciate you for being here. And shout out to my dogs. All right, here we go.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go. Melania looks worried. The hell was that? Somebody see that? What was that? Trump and Nancy Mace still getting a round of applause. Anybody saw Chuck Schumer's face? He's hiding from Trump. HB Football Mom says, special guest Zelensky. Just kidding. Oh, man. Thank you so much for your $50 donation. I appreciate it. Here we go. Trump speaking to the justices. Okay. $10 gifted subs for Trump. Thank you. Here we go. USA. USA. Look at those clowns sitting down. Look at those clowns.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States.
Oh, baby, let's go. Let's go.
members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back. 6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started. I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes. We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Here go the stupid Democrats.
USA! 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 You mad! You mad! Oh!
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525. On a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Sit your ass down, stupid Democrats.
In modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
They're never going to win an election again. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the $100 bill. There's Tom Homan.
Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Hey, kick this guy out. Kick him and his cane out of here. You stupid ass Democrats, man.
Breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Get the fuck out of here.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order.
Get the fuck out of here!
Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Yeah, you fuck around, you find out, motherfucker. Get the fuck out. Look at Trump's face, man. Clown, clown, clown. La 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 la. Hey. Man, shut up. Shut up. Shut your ass up, man. Get out of here.
To uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you.
I told you it would be a
Over
show.
the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it. In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many. And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever. They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these
he's cooking.
These astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what.
He's cooking.
5 times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way. So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
Trump is an absolute genius. He knew they weren't going to stand. He knew they weren't going to stand, but he's an absolute genius for calling for unity, and they still won't stand.
Administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Oh, including Israel? Whoa.
I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council. We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction. To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term. And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job. And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good.
Look at the signs, bro. Look at the signs.
And I've stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back. And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
Oh, no. I don't speak English, my friend. I don't come for America, my friend. Don't speak Spanish.
Named the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Hey, he's cooking them so hard right now. They look so bad, guys. Look at the Republicans' energy and look at the Democrat energy, man. It's so bad.
I renamed for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again. Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer.
No more woke, guys. No more wokies.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Democrats won't even stand for that. Oh no, they're so cooked.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
They're not standing up for that either? Oh no, they are even more cooked.
Was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
This is good. This is good. This is good. If you're a Democrat, you're a liberal, you should like this. This is good. But no, they're not standing up for this either. Thank you for your donations, guys. Thank you so much.
Numbers. Just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer. What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As
he's looking right at them
every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again. Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down, Secretary. Do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job. A major focus of our fight.
Who cares? They walked out. Who cares?
The cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now. And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill. My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA. To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars. And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps. Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Oh, they're so mad. They're so mad at him, bro. They're cooked.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that.
He's cooking.
Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud. And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them. And we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
Yo, they're getting cooked so bad. This is the best Trump I've seen in a while. Yo.
Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229 one person between the age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years, more than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families. And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it. With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, we will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money. Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again. And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over. And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that.
Oh, what a burn.
But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax.
Yeah, what a burn. They're so cooked. They are so, oh, they're cooked.
Thank you. It's a very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
Let's go. Make it happen. Let's go. Trump just told Mike Johnson they're not standing up for that. They're not. You're a clown. Clown. Rashida Tlaib is a clown.
Want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America. And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
I'll get a Honda.
And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term. If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was. And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them. If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer. Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA. And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people. And they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to. Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer. We'll now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies. They're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases. They were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it. And it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen.
They can't even stand up for the farmers. Oh, he's asleep. Look at this guy.
Copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long. Here today is a proud American steelworker, fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama, Jeff Denard. Has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff.
Democrats won't even stand up for him. This is so crazy.
Thank you, Jeff. Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh. And look where Biden took us. Very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States. Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help.
How does Trump remember everybody's name?
Down Act. And this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much. Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast. And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to. Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren. Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act. It's called the Laken-Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley. Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you. The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president. Thank you. Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America. But there still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know Alexis Nungary from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter. And earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order? Thank you very much. All 3 savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations. They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy. In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took, and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much.
Unbelievable. They're not even standing for Roberto. Roberto doesn't even get stand.
On my many calls to the border, he's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing. Five nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that. Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it. And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns. In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bond. Good luck. So important. Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you. Thank you, Cash. They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice. 1 year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests, and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much. Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest, and we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, so we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law. I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed. Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
His dad from Texas. Oh, he's proud to be from Texas, man. Oh, that's so dope. Are Democrats standing for this?
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
They're not standing up. Oh, these Democrats will never win an election again.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service. Thank you, DJ. DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering. How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000. And now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong. 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you. Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January, Little John and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology. I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth. And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie. And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you.
He's absolutely cooking, guys. Make sure to smash the like button, guys. Thank you, Tammy, for your $50 donation.
We're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better? Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations. And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the history of our services. What a difference. And you know, it was just a few months ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit. Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing. And thank you very much. Great job. Thank you. We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a six-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
He is cook. Oh, look, DJ. Oh, that's so dope. Oh, what a moment. Wow.
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA. And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim, right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding. And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it. Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job. Great job. And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security. And we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice. And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown. That when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords. And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes. $2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by billions and billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
This guy wants to stand up, but Democrats aren't standing up for peace. They're not standing up for a black boy with cancer. They're not standing up for Laken Riley. I mean, this is crazy.
It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end the senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malfine that we would bring her boy safely back home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight. To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father, and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. 2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you. To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his 3 beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon. Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country, because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age. These workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities. These warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond. And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve. My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future, because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That might have been the longest State of the Union I've probably ever heard. I don't really listen many, but that was amazing, and it was probably the best in my opinion. Let's keep listening here. Donald Trump shaking hands with the general. I think Democrats got cooked tonight so bad, like so extremely bad. Like, I don't know Democrats coming back from this. Your best option right now is Stephen A. Smith, a sports commentator from ESPN. This was a cook of a lifetime. This dude chose violence tonight. He literally sold Americans the idea of taxes and the idea of tariffs, and it sounded amazing. Tariffs are usually a red flag for the economy, not mostly the economy, but there's usually a red flag for the stock markets and the economy to a degree, where people get scared and it becomes uncertain. But Donald Trump tonight did something that I've never thought anybody can do. Now, imagine you being interested in tariffs. You click a YouTube video. You're interested in that YouTube video so you can understand. Many Americans don't really understand how tariffs work. In fact, you got many Democrats saying that it's doomsday if tariffs go into effect with other countries. There was a tariff war that have happened before. We've tariffed other countries. We get tariffed. It happens. But Donald Trump is selling Americans the idea of tariffs, and it sounds good. He says, bear with me because things might get ugly before they get beautiful, but eventually they will get beautiful. And he's also said that it happened before. When the United States and China went at it in 2017, it got ugly. The stock market got ugly, and then guess what? It got real beautiful. The stock market and the markets overall are based on optimism of where the trajectory of America is going, mostly based on that the biggest markets are here, right? Once Trump was sought out to be the winner, the stock market began to boom, right? The stock market is mostly based on rumors and things that are going to happen. They usually sell the news. And the stock market boomed because Donald Trump was going to get into office. The odds showed it. And so he got into office, and now the stock market is iffy because of the uncertainty. But think about why tariffs are even happening in America, why they're happening at all. They're happening because Trump wants to stop the influx of fentanyl and drugs. And as you can see, Congress members trying to take pictures with Trump is crazy. There you go. Is Trump going to take a picture? But the tariffs are happening because Trump wants a better America. He wants less drugs. He wants more countries to pay their fair share. He wants more things built in America. So there's a reason for tariffs. Tariffs didn't just happen for no reason. And, you got countries trying to play hardball. And there's an art to, if you read the book, The Art of the Deal, I've read some of it with Donald Trump. You know that this is what he does, and this is who he is, and this is why he was successful in his first term. So again, a lot of people very uncertain about the future. We're very uncertain when we even go outside. We're taking a big risk going outside. We never know if we're going to make it back home. We hope so. We pray so. But right now, this is where we're at. Democrats not standing up for the kid with cancer was a huge L. Democrats acting fools with those signs. They look like puppets. They literally look like puppets. They didn't stand up for Laken Riley. Donald Trump called them out. Donald Trump asked. He landed a helping hand. Hey, hello. Thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys, for becoming members. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So, again, there's things that I don't like, and I'm very vocal about my support for foreign aid in Israel. And right now, there's a lot of things I don't like. I'm very vocal. A lot of people have unsubscribed because I'm very vocal about the things I don't like, very vocal about the things I do like. But I thought that this Trump tonight was actually he did a good job. Did a good job, man. I think a lot of people that watched this and sat through this and understood the assignment. He understood the assignment tonight. Literally giving people shout outs, giving people stories, doing an executive order. It just like he went off today. And then for everything that he did that was humanitarian today, Democrats not standing up sent out a very bad message to America. But guess who they stood up for? When he started speaking about the support that America has given Ukraine, Anna Paulina Luna, there is Lauren Boebert. When he started speaking about Ukraine, the whole Democrat side just began to stand up. They began to stand up. for Ukraine. They didn't stand up for anything else that whole night. Again, this is the problem. This is the disconnect. You even have influencers tonight they're having a rough time. Influencers that want to defend that are going to have a rough time. So again, you can hate Donald Trump. A lot of people don't like him. There's people that voted for him that didn't like him. But when Donald Trump speak about boys playing in girls sports and Democrats don't stand up for that. In fact, Democrats vote against the bill to prevent that. That's where you lose Americans on that culture activity. So again, there are so many things that Trump did tonight that were very, in my opinion, very strategic and very good. He actually took his time. He wasn't loud. He didn't yell at anybody. He waited for them to troll. He trolled them right back. He called Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas to her face. Called Democrats out consistently. He kind of literally, if a lot of people were on the edge of his presidency tonight, he sealed the deal for them. So I thought that was, that's why I clapped so much, because I was like, man, this dude is like, he's cooking right now. And he's cooking because he's under a lot of pressure. These tariffs are causing uncertainty, fear, and doubt in the markets. They're causing that. But in the outcome of these tariffs, there's a glorious America in the outcome. So right now, we're watching the Dow is up now to a degree. The Dow had dropped. The stock market had dropped. The crypto market had dropped and now is recovering. Again, these things are going to recover the longer it goes and the more results we get on the positive side and the more he talks about it. So, yeah, man, this is what was going to happen. And there's so much. I'm gonna do a video breakdown. So the 4,000 people that are in here, I appreciate you guys. Please turn on your notification bell. I'm gonna do a late video tonight. I never do late videos, but I'm probably gonna do a late video. I'll probably drop it sometime in the morning or maybe in the next 30, 40, 50 minutes. Thinking about dropping a video because this was so good that I gotta give a breakdown. I have to give a breakdown on this because there were so many great moments on this. Again, many people, I'm going to say this one more time. Many people don't watch politics. Jesse Waters said something earlier during the Fox broadcast. He said that people are just not interested in politics because it's moving so fast. It's moving extremely fast and people just are not paying attention. So people are reading headlines like, oh my God, it's doomsday. Donald Trump is a bad person. This and that, this and that. But one thing you got to keep in mind is that when you are paying attention to these politics, you start to elevate. You start to really pass on and you start to really gain knowledge that the average individual doesn't. Have some more patience out there with your brethren, because a lot of people just don't understand what's going on. A lot of people don't understand what's going on right now. They really don't. All they can do is read these headlines from these pages that are screaming doomsday. That, oh my God, tariff this. Oh my God, that, this, that, boom, boom, bah, that. They one little headline and they have changed their minds forever. You have to be patient. These things are going to grow. People are going to grow. More people are getting involved in politics. You're seeing more Hispanics. You're seeing more Black people. You're seeing more people around the world. You got to understand the reason why I point that out is because they're usually not involved in politics. But now people are becoming more involved in politics. And we're starting to see that. And that's a very good thing because you want people to know about what's going on at least a little bit. At least a little bit to the point where they can go and discern a lie. So, look, I'm not a fan of politics to a degree. I think it's good. I think, what Trump is doing is good. I think what he wants to do is great. Can he do it? I believe so. Today, he spoke about, and then this is my last thing on this. He spoke about today, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. This is something that the Democrats have been talking about. Now, again, because you guys know, a lot of you guys know how this works, it doesn't just work like that. In 44 days, you can't get this passed. These are bills that are going to have to get passed through Congress, with the majority of the House being Democrat, the majority of the Senate being Democrat. You're going to have an easier time passing these bills through where you can actually make it happen. But these bills have to get introduced. Many things have to happen before those things even take place. So Democrats go to their average voter and they say, look, he lied to you about no tax on tip. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Oh, he's not making the egg prices lower. It's not even his economy right now. He's inheriting an economy. It takes more than 44 days. Midsummer, you start to see maybe some impact on the positive side. But again, when you think about it and you start to really at least educate yourself somewhat, you start to realize, okay, it's time to start passing these bills. It's time to start making these things happen. So again, I'm going to hold these people accountable. Today I saw, a culture thing, right, that I didn't like, which was like Derek Chauvin. Let's free Derek. Donald Trump doesn't need this bullshit. Like, again, there's Democrats like Ben Shapiro, who has lost a lot of his employees, lost a lot of respect. A lot of people have noticed that he's more about Israel than he is America. Then what he starts to do is, oh, well, people are thinking very negative of me. What am I going to do? Let me start talking about George Floyd again. It's like, in my opinion, this is the type of thing that makes people hate. It makes people really dislike. And it makes people just very divisive on BS. Things that Trump's not even attached to, they try to attach him to. Democrats and Republicans. But Republicans specifically, they're the ones trying to do this. You have to be careful what you attach Trump to, because Trump's become a stigma of a lot of things he doesn't even stand for. So I don't know how to explain this more better than that, but I would focus more on America, trajectory, right? Democrats are going to have a very hard time winning another election. And if this thing goes well, the tariffs pay off, and America actually thrives, and the Dow goes up, everything goes up, and they're cooked. They are cooked. So again, that's my opinion on this speech. I thought that he was very funny, witty, the same Trump that we always known. He's cooking. And yeah, he made Democrats look like a fool tonight. He really did. And there's, unfortunately for Democrats, not standing up for those things, it just gives you a black eye you don't want. Right now, you're trying to get back to winning. But Democrats just don't seem to understand that people are just people. Donald Trump's noticed something. People are emotional. What did he do tonight? He made people emotional. Spoke about things that are real, but he also knows that people are very emotional. People love to feel things. They love to hate. They love to laugh. They love to love. This is what people do. This is what people are. Democrats just don't grasp that. They just don't understand it, which is why they're going to have a hard time winning another election, because there's somebody in the deep end learning this. JD Vance is learning this. He's already being hated. JD Vance is the left's #1 meme right now. Somebody said they're actually better at emotion. No, they're not. I'm telling you. It's deeper to explain. If you understand what I'm saying, maybe you don't. I understand. But JD Vance is up next, man. He's going to cook. He's learning from Donald Trump. All right. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on the Democrats, a party that was once beloved. A lot of people love the party. A lot of people, Democrats used to be anti-war. They were for the people. They were the party of the people. At some point, Donald Trump pointed out that when they didn't clap for Kennedy, he says something, how quickly they forget. How quickly they forget. That's, bro, people that watch this, that are look, a lot of people watching this are clapping. They're just not going to clap out loud because they don't want to be judged. We know how Democrats and progressives and liberals, there's a Democrat in here right now that's full of hate. He gets on camera, you start making videos about people, you start talking really bad about these people, and individually you start to judge them. You start to really make people feel bad for what they believe in and who they believe in. And that's why people don't really go out of their way to talk about politics. It's a very divisive thing. It's always going to be that way, by the way. It's always going to be that way. So that's just my opinion. Again, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. If you have a smash the like button. Also, a lot of people sent donations. We were on live for 3 hours and 18 minutes, man. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really do appreciate it. So please, again, smash the like button. Yeah. Appreciate you. Love you guys. See you guys on the next one. Oh, wait. Before I go, anybody that sent donations, Patriot Chet, thank you for your donation. A bunch of donations were sent tonight. That's never going to go unnoticed. And if it does, I truly apologize. Truly apologize if that ever goes unnoticed. But I want to say thank you so much for your donations, guys. It really does mean the world to me. It really does. It really helps me out a lot. It helps out this channel. So these are my thoughts from a 28-year-old who may not like everything you like, may not love everything you love, but do love this country. I do love where I come from. And I just don't think that there's a better place than America right now. And I think the politics is something that can bring us together. Sometimes it just brings us apart. But that's my opinion. Everybody has theirs, and I respect that. And for that, God bless America. See you guys on the next one.